anticipation is running high on the Palouse. Today we're set for a clash between these two rivals from the Mountain West. As we'll see, the San Diego State Aztecs taking on the Washington State Cougars. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Aztecs will kick it away to start. The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. He's going to take a shot right away. A strike downfield. Off to the races. Touchdown, Wazoo! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
Man, you want to make a statement early in a game. Your first offensive possession, you go 75 yards for the touchdown. Their opponent right now is literally in shock and awe. They're in disbelief. They don't even know what hit them.
And he knocked that one right down the middle.
San Diego State, 0.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Three tight ends in the formation on 1st and 10. Makes the quick grab. There he goes! Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down.
Not wasting any time. You just watch the opponent go down on their first drive and score a touchdown. So right away, you're aggressive. You're throwing the football on your first play of the game, and you're getting a nice completion. Really nice job.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And I understand what the offense is trying to do. Use the wide side of the field, right? Use all that space, pitch on the outside, get on the edge. But the defense was too disciplined. Great job setting the edge, not letting them get outside, making the big tackle.
Looking for a man. It's Emmanuel. Fires to the big fella. Stopped after a good pickup, and he'll be just a tad short of the first down. So an example of a tight end doing a little unheralded work to set up a much better third down situation.
And I like the QB here, Reese. I like the decision where I understand, let's get this football out, let's get some positive yards, and then get to third down, and we can still have a better situation now because we got rid of the football and took the yards that were there. Man, and you see those sticks, and you're like, dude, 3rd and short, I just got to fall forward and get the first down, Palmer, but the defense comes up big and gets the stop.
So on offense, don't overthink this one. 4th and inches, just line up something easy you know you can execute in your sleep and go keep this drive going.
And 4th and inches, you know what's coming. You know they're going to run the quarterback sneak, but it's one of the hardest plays in football to stop. You got to find a way to dive from the defensive line spot and stop the feet of the quarterback, and they couldn't do it. And listen, they only needed inches. That's what makes it so difficult to stop.
From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Now, if you want to run the ball up the middle, you're going to have to block that guy. I mean, nobody even touched him, and he slanted right into the backfield, made the tackle for loss.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Going to try to pop one on the screen. Brought down just short of the sticks on the screen pass.
And he didn't get a big gain. You want to call that play and probably want to get more yards, but you could tell that was super close from seriously busting loose. Nice job running the screen, getting the ball to your playmaker. If you could just make one more guy miss, that might have been huge.
Aztecs come to the line on third down, trying to keep this drive alive. Back to throw, it's Emmanuel. Fires to the big fella. He'll pick up a few before being knocked out of bounds at the 31.
Well, they pick up the first against zone coverage. I think a big part of this for young quarterbacks out there is if you're going to be throwing into zone coverage, you got to throw on time. You can't stare down receivers because the entire defense has their eyes on you, so you can't telegraph where the ball's going. You've got to hold it to the very last possible second. Try to freeze defenders with your eyes and then throw the ball into open areas of the field, anticipating where your guy's going to be.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more, but sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
And the Aztecs have it with a 1st and 10. Drop play, quarterback keeps it. Heading to the end zone. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, San Diego State.
If the offense continues to put drives like that together, this defense is in trouble. How about the balance, the ability to throw the football, run the football, keep the defense guessing, and then when it gets closer to the end zone, the physicality to punch it in. Great start for this offense.
Extra point here will tie the game. And the extra point is good. 75 yards on the touchdown drive. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Fair catch called for and made. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. The give. Finds that crease, and he's got 4 out to the 29. Washington State lines up quickly. Right back to the well. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Let's see what call they have on 3rd and long from the 28. From the gun, wants to pass. Quickly to the tight end. They'll keep this drive moving by picking up the first down. They have it at the 36.
As a head coach, you love it when your quarterback is locked in early. Opening drive, throws a touchdown pass. Really nice throw on that last play. Here in the second drive, he's firing on all cylinders. You can tell this guy did his homework coming into this game, and right now it's paying off.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. They'll run the option. Now the toss. And that one will go in reverse. The defense all over that pitch on the option.
And that just looked off. The timing, the rhythm, I don't know what it was, but usually that option, man, it's so precise, right? Like really quickly making a read, and you could tell they weren't on the same page. It went absolutely nowhere. Defense
looking deep down the right side. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
It's been a tale of 2 drives for this defense early on, right? They came out starting really slow, allowed a touchdown on the opening drive, but they're finally settling in here on this one. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. They did give up 1 first down, but really nice job there on that 3rd down pass defense, forcing the incompletion, now trying to set up a punt.
They'll put the ball in play from their own 30-yard line. Unloads quickly.
And there you see the bind that the RPO play can put a defender in. That linebacker had to make a decision. Was the running back going to get the ball? He thought so, so he bit up, and that allowed the slant to be thrown in behind him.
The Aztecs can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. From the gun, the running back has it. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up.
Well, after giving up that touchdown on the opening drive, they had a little bit of a come to Jesus with their defensive coordinator on the sideline. I don't know what he said, but he, I think, just invoked the fear of God into this defense, because this 3 and out has been sensational, dominant. This is the way they've got to play moving forward.
Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. Opening snap of this drive comes from the 31-yard line. Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. Good pickup on the ground, and they'll mark him down at the 39. The Cougars with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Motion from the back. Holds and fires complete to the right. To running room. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense. They've got a first down here to open the period. Wants to go up top on first down. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Johnson. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
Defense has their hands full with this one. I know he's not the biggest guy playing the running back position right now, but they know he's going to be catching it too, and they're going to have to bring this guy down in space. In the passing game, they better make sure they get a lot of hats to the football. They've got their hands full.
Caught in the backfield. It's Ellison. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Nice job, defense. You always hear people talk about tackling the catch. You saw it right there. There was nowhere for that receiver to go once he had possession. As a result, no gain.
Makes the catch. It's Johnson. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
Sends it back in motion. Trying to pick up the first out of the backfield. The Cougars get enough to move the chains.
Man, those plays are frustrating on defense. You get 3 stops, you force that third down, trying to get off the field, but the offense makes the play, gets the first down. It's almost like you got to kind of recalibrate, refocus. Forget that one. Let's do it again.
Lost one deep down the right side. He caught it, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington State.
And listen, find your matchups you like, and you can see you got your speedster out wide. You like the matchup. He sees it. You put some air underneath that thing, and he outruns the DB. He's got no shot. Runs underneath it, and then walks his way into the end zone for 6.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking downfield, it's Emmanuel. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
I know that one falls incomplete, but I love the idea of finding ways to get this running back the ball, right? You can hand it off to him. He's got really good hands. Already has a few catches in this game. I think you keep trying to leak him out of the backfield and let him take advantage of this defense throwing the ball.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Quarterback now on the run, still looking. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19. That defensive end came off the ball with one goal in mind, and he was headed for the quarterback.
When you get off that fast and you're already on an edge as a 4-3 defensive end, a lot of times all you got to do is win with your hands, and you can get to the quarterback. Nice job rushing the passer. Nice technique. Nice job working around the corner. And nice job getting that quarterback and getting the sack.
He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming. Punt is in the air. Makes the signal, secures the fair catch, and they'll put it in play at the 37. Opening snap of this drive comes from the 38-yard line. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Got stuffed on 1st down. It's 2nd and 10. Back to pass. With the catch, it's Ellison. He's really close to that 1st down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. Washington State going quickly. They'll run for it on 3rd and short. That'll be enough for a 1st down as he crosses the 50 and gets it to the 48. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Looking deep. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Well, they hooked up already once for a score today, so the quarterback's going back to him again deep down the field, but it falls incomplete.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Trying play action. The short hands, it's Johnson. Nice gain of 6, leaving them with 3rd and 4. Well, he comes up with the reception, but not a lot of room to run after that.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to give him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle, but I like trying to get this guy the ball in space.
And there you go. You see, you don't have to throw bombs to get big plays in the passing game. Just screen it to your running back. As soon as he catches it, he gets upfield. And how about the downfield blocking by these linemen and the wide receivers?
Wide open spaces. Run out of bounds at about the 13-yard line, and that's where this offense will go back to work.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
And the Cougars pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. Oh, it's a reverse. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Everybody loves those trick plays, man, those misdirections. But the problem is when you stay home and you play the play really disciplined and sound like this defense does, you knock it dead. And a lot of times for a loss and put the offense in a bind.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Man, oh man, am I upset at my offensive line to give up penetration that fast? Man, we blinked and missed it.
He barely got the ball and just got destroyed immediately. What a great play. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. He's brought down right at the 13-yard line. Still a ways to go to make it to the line to gain. Let's see what they do on 4th. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they'll talk it over to see if they can build on this lead before halftime. Now on 4th down, they'll settle for a field goal try.
Y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They'll run it from the gun. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Catch in the middle, it's Napier. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49. And the Aztecs in the hurry-up. To the air, it's Emmanuel. Fires to the tight end. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. The hurry-up now, second down, clock ticking. Looking to fire. Oh, they're after him. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Now facing a third and long. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. Maybe just a shade out of their field goal range, so they'll leave the offense out there on fourth down. They'll run for it. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on down.
And how about the defense coming up big on fourth and short? You know they're going to run the football. Great job stacking the box, getting the big stop.
They're going to open this drive with a pass. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The offense setting up shop at the 46, first and 10. They'll move the wide receiver. Looking to throw on first down. Just a little bit too much juice on that one as the freshman was taking a shot.
I love the decision by the quarterback. He found the open man, just don't love the throw. Got to be a little bit more accurate and make it easier on your target.
Looking to go up top at times, running out in the half. It's incomplete, and that also might be what is called a learning experience, and one this freshman got away with. It'll be third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws for the tight end. And they took a shot on that one, but couldn't make the connection. It's incomplete.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win first and second down. You set up third and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody on the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force fourth downs.
That ball will make its way out of bounds, and they'll mark it dead at the 15. I guess a lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. This defense will try to keep everything in front. Looking for a man. It's Emmanuel. Makes the catch. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Picked up some yardage with that completion. Now second down. Wants to go up top. Under fire. And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call.
Well, that defender just was better in his one-on-one on the pass rush. He does a great job being the offensive lineman to get to the QB.
Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. On on 3rd and long. No secret what he needs here. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. The critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there. When it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
A fair catch is called for and made just across the 50-yard line. One more play before the teams head to the locker rooms. Wants to throw on 1st down. Looking for the end zone. He can haul it in. Incomplete. They took a shot, but that's how we'll wrap up the half. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Washington State has it teed up, and we're ready to go here in the 2nd half. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Intercepted, and that's not how you want to start a half. Couldn't find much room on the return, but what a costly miscue, and they've got it at the 26-yard line. Here comes the Wazoo offense onto the field again. They'll give it to Johnson. He's brought down just running hard in the red zone, and he'll be just a few inches short.
Really good surge that time by the offensive line. You saw all those bodies by the defense being pushed backwards. That opened up the crease for the ball carrier. He's able to get a really nice gain there, setting up 2nd and inches.
The defense really gets it. They understand what's going on. The quarterback is a threat to run the football. I have to understand that. It changes the way I play defense. Am I going to have more speed on the field? Whatever I do, I got to make sure I do what they did right there.
Headed to the end zone. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Washington State.
This coaching staff was trying to identify playmakers on offense early this year. How about the start of the season this guy has had? Scored in their first game. He scored early in this one. Defenses up to this point don't have any answers for this guy.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead.
San Diego State, 7.
He'll call for the fair catch here. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, the inside give. He gets nothing, and they keep plowing ahead with the running game, and they've got very little to show for it. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Gives it on the option. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Man, nowhere to run on that play at all.
About all you can say is do better. But that's the problem. Are they able to do better?
And that's why you keep trying things, right? Keep trying to get on the perimeter, run up the middle, try different things to see what you do now.
Well, after struggling so much in the first half, you thought they would have made some adjustments here at halftime to see if they can open up this passing game. But early on in the second half, they're just not really able to get that done. Incompletion on 3rd down in your own end, you're expecting them to punt.
Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. They'll get this drive started from the 29. They'll send the back in motion. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. Still on his feet at the 45. Turning it on. The 10. Touchdown, Cougar. And the punishment has been extended.
If I'm a play caller nowadays, man, I want more guys like this. Just can see. He can catch it out of the backfield like a wide receiver, or he can run it. Nice job catching the football with his hands, using his speed to do the rest and get into the end zone.
He'll bring it out. It's Hankins. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Guys, we're about to get another look at this San Diego State offense. They've got a long road ahead of them if they want to get back into this game, but they have to get to work on this drive. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly.
Well, coming out in the second half, they knew they needed to throw the ball to have success, and they have not yet found a completion here in the third quarter. This quarterback has got to be able to find a way to get himself back in rhythm.
Makes a connection. And he's got enough for the first down. They'll mark it at the 34.
You know, tight ends are such matchup nightmares and problems for defense. They're too big for DBs to cover, and they're too fast for linebackers to cover. You saw it right there.
Dropping back, it's Emmanuel. Finds his man down the middle.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm.
The Aztecs pick up the first down.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
And the Aztecs are moving quickly down the field. Looking to throw on first down. Unloads to the wideout. Catch in the middle. It's Napier. Oh, and the defense in chase mode, and they finally get him down at the 35.
When these wide receivers work the middle of the field, so much of this is feel. Understanding where the holes are in the zone, or understanding how to get leverage on a man. And these wide receivers are dangerous nowadays because they do it so fast and see that so quick and make those plays over the middle.
The Aztecs will snap it on 1st and 10. Looking downfield on first down. Now adjusting. He's going to run it. He'll be knocked out of bounds at the 29.
And this is the hard part about being on defense and choosing whether to be conservative or bring the blitz. They bring the blitz, he sees it, and that's what he does really well. Sees it and immediately makes a decision, gets to some green grass, and gets a positive gain for this offense.
Going to swing it on 2nd down. Grabbed over the middle. It's Adams. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
It's important on offense to get the tight ends involved in the passing game. These are big fellas that can run. This guy's a big target, so nice job on that play.
Just outside the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 21. Wants to throw. It's Emmanuel. Firing to the right, complete. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
I think that time offensively, you're just trying to take what the defense is giving you, right? They're playing zone coverage. You got your big fella just working right over the ball. It's an easy pitch and catch. Just take the profit. Let's keep going.
Snagged in the middle. It's Napier. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
Yeah, and what a nice job seeing it, reacting, and throwing it. When you run these RPOs, you want to read the defense really quickly. Is he playing run? Okay, boom, I'm going to throw the slant right behind him. Nice job by the QB.
And the Aztecs really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. He's got it on the move. He's run out of bounds, but he's got enough to move the sticks.
Obviously, great job picking up the first down there through the air, but you're trailing by a lot of points now, and you're in that area of the field where you should take a shot. If I was the offensive coordinator, I'd be thinking about throwing this next one into the end zone and trying to cut into the lead.
Touchdown, Aztecs! Fired in from the red zone for the score.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone, because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in game.
He'll make his way in for the two, and now they're down by 16. So it's a 77-yard touchdown drive, and it was finished off with a 2-yard touchdown toss. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Fielded in the end zone. It's Freeman. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They'd love to put a long drive together here as they start from their own 21. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Pulls it, fired complete. He's out past the 35. It's a seam wide open. And he was off to the races, and he gets it to the 45.
Man, we knew coming into this game just how explosive this offense could be, and a big part of that is their ability to throw the football. They've scored a ton of points, and it's because they can generate plays like that. When this quarterback sees the one-on-one matchup he wants, he is not afraid to pull the trigger, and he hits a big throw there.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Back to pass. Finds his man. It's Ellison. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. The Cougars come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. On 3rd and short, they'll go to the power running game. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
Washington State 31, San Diego State 15.
They already have a comfortable lead, up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Washington State has it back, and they'll send the offense onto the field. What a turn that last drive was. Didn't pick up the 4th down, and it led to the scoring drive, David.
Yeah, and those are frustrating because you think you might get points and then your defense gives up points. This has got to be a complementary football type deal. The offense now needs to provide a little spark and give this defense some hope.
No doubt, David. They got to turn the page, and they've got to play with a little bit more urgency here, knowing they've got to get that one back and put a good drive together.
Defense there to make the stop after a pickup of 2 to the 30.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles. Like
Turning on the Jets. Got enough space. And he gets it down to the 4-yard line before he's finally stopped. A terrific run after the catch.
defense just hasn't had an answer for this guy. He has been on point. This is about as good as I've seen him play at the quarterback position. And here in the 4th quarter with a big lead, he's still taking shots.
He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. See if they can get it done on 2nd and goal. Go straight ahead. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on 2nd down, this little 3rd to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
That defensive front just flat whipped them as they knock him down for a big loss.
And the offense on that option play, they're just thinking, we're going to use our speed to our advantage, and we're just going to outflank you easily and pick up this first down on 3rd and short. But how about the defense? Everybody's staying home. You saw the speed and their ability to get outside and get a stop, now setting up 4th down.
And with that kick, man, it's a tall order for the other side. I mean, down 3 possessions. Like, this offense is going to have to get the ball and do something with it, and do it quickly if they want to get back in this football game.
this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Takes a hit as he fires. Grabbed in the middle. It's Adams. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
Man, I love this guy's toughness. All game long, he's been getting hit. He's been sacked multiple times, and here we are late in the game. He's still staring down the barrel, gets nailed, but is able to deliver a big completion for his offense.
Shoots it to the left. It's complete. And a nice grab there. Big pickup down to the 35-yard line.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at them. They're right back on the football, ready to run another play.
Looking to throw it to Emmanuel. Now he's going to glide away from pressure. And as he throws, it's caught. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
Gets the back moving. They're in the red zone, and they'll pass it. Got his man. Tackle is made after the catch, but it'll set up first and goal from the 7.
Now, I know that completion isn't a touchdown. It's not a deep play deep down the field, but how about the strong hands by that receiver making that catch? He made that look pretty routine. He had that DB draped all over him.
Touchdown, San Diego State. Quick strike through the air for the score.
And it's not an accident. They're featuring this guy. His second receiving touchdown of the game. That's your job as a coach. Find my playmakers, get them the ball so they can do damage and have games like this right here.
Let's see if they can roll snake eyes in a good way and get the deuce. They'll send the tight end in motion. He's looking to pass. And he drops it just a little too slippery in the hands.
That keeps the score. Washington State, 34. San Diego State, 21.
They are running out of time here. They need to get the ball back. They'll line up for the onside kick. And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on it. Here comes the Wazoo offense onto the field again. And to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse, they'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down to execution, too. Did a nice job out in the field, stalled a little bit once they got down to the goal line, so they just need to be a little bit more crisp here, Dylan.
Yeah, and listen, I think the first part was the most important part. You got to put the drive together first to get down there. Now, when we get down there, focus on execution and getting 6 points.
The Cougars can really attack on this second and short. The give and tick, 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 tick. Oh, a lot of space. They get this sophomore on the ground, but he continues to make plays.
These situations are preached so much in college football. Finishing a game strong, understanding circumstances. They are running the football right at you, trying to keep that clock moving, get a few first downs, and get a W.
Down to the 16-yard line, it's first and 10. Receiver on the move gets the touch pass. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. Lost one on that last one. It's second and 11. Keeps it on the draw. The draw draws nothing except a swarm of tacklers. He's stopped immediately.
Well, they try to go with the draw out of the shotgun, but just way too much penetration allowed up front. That defensive line just took that play home.
They get off the rock really fast, get in the backfield. The offensive linemen are supposed to push them upfield. Quarterback's got to sell it. Not anything really in that play in sync, and it doesn't go anywhere.
Great job by the running back on this play. It's a big third down, and his ability to catch the ball, turn around, get north, make a guy miss, and go move the sticks. Awesome individual effort.
Keeping it on the ground on first and goal. And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Cougars.
I got to say, the mental toughness that this team is showing early this season is real impressive. And going down the field and scoring on that last possession, putting themselves in position here to go 2-0, they're answering the bell. This team has leadership on both sides of the ball. Very, very impressive.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point right down the boulevard is there now, up 20 in the fourth. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Back to throw, it's Emmanuel. Here's the pressure. Interception, and things are going from bad to worse. Not a lot of room on the return, but he'd already got the most important thing, the ball, and they have it at the 46. And they're just about out of chances. The defense can stop it one more time as the quarterback takes a knee. Winning can become a habit. Now they've won back-to-back games and probably building a little confidence.
And you want it to be a habit. That's what you talk about as a coach week after week. Let's build. Let's create momentum and continue to build on it. And then you look up at the end of the season, you never know where you could be, what dreams you could bring to reality.
At the end of the day, I think good teams find ways to win games. And over these last two games, it hasn't always been easy. They've had to overcome some adversity, but at the end of the day, they were able to step up, make the plays necessary, and do that. Very, very impressive.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you